So hey everyone, welcome back to Rebecca's Colouring Arts and Crafts. So today I'm going to be doing another book review. This is a book called My Name is Not Peaseblossom by Jackie French. This was provided to me by HarperCollins Australia in exchange for a review, and I really appreciate it. So My Name is Peaseblossom is a different take on Shakespeare's popular comedy A Midsummer Night's Dream. However, it doesn't actually follow the traditional storyline of A Midsummer Night's Dream, but instead adds in fantasy elements to the story. I don't actually know for sure what the original Midsummer Night's Dream was because, as I'll say later, I always struggled with the Shakespeare novels, so I've never actually properly read them, but now I'm sort of considering maybe, but we'll see. So these fantasy elements start with the main character Pete, or Peaseblossom, a fairy whose real name is Peaseblossom. So basically what I said. Peaseblossom works in the court of the fairy, King Oberon and fairy queen Titania, and is a servant of Queen Titania. I'm butchering it right now. But Peaseblossom though wants nothing more than to be known as Pete and to eat pizza instead of sugar plums, and wants to wear denim instead of daffodils. So basically their outfit are like flower petals kind of thing. So this story follows the intrigues of not only the fairy court, but also contains vampire plots to take over the world, true love, whether it happened via magical drops, which the fairies put in your eyes, or actual true love and the consequences that brings. Some of the other characters in My Name is Not Peaseblossom is a selkie called Gelia. I can't remember the names of these others, but there's banshees, vampires, Amazons, so like the female Amazon warriors, obviously other fairies, and a sea serpent who exchanges anchovies for pizza. Overall, in my opinion, I love the new twist on Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream by Jackie French, as the fantasy and I guess modern additions really helped me to get into the story. I will admit, as I said, I have never really understood Shakespeare's tales / books, and as a result I've never really had a desire to read them, and I am now considering maybe trying it, but we'll see. As I would always end up confused having to interpret Shakespeare, and particularly in my English class when we had to interpret Shakespeare, I would always pretty much fail the essays and stuff at interpreting it. I wouldn't do well at all. I just didn't understand the language and the concepts, and I'm thinking now that's probably partly my Asperger's and the social stuff, but yeah, so I guess in that way I didn't fully understand Shakespeare's novels because of my Asperger's and because of my understanding of the English language and the skills and what things mean. I'm starting to realise that a lot more nowadays, but it's a work in progress. So I'm sort of considering maybe I would attempt it again, maybe I'd understand it better, maybe I wouldn't, I don't know. I'll have to see what time brings. So for me though, this book completely changes that for me. I'm not sure how close it is to Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream, because obviously I haven't read Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream, but for me, the fact I could actually get into the storyline and understand what is going on and enjoyed the storyline, that really brought this book out for me. I actually first heard about it at TeenCon 2019 at the Sydney Writers' Festival, and that was awesome. I actually got to meet a publicity officer that I've been working with for a bit and who sent me this book, and so thank you so much. It was really good meeting you, and I'm really glad that I got the chance to meet you. But for me, I did understand what was going on. As for how close it is or not, I don't know. I'd probably have to read Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream and then read this one again and compare the two. maybe it's different languages still, or maybe it's slightly different storyline. I really don't know. So I can't actually do a comparison between the original Shakespeare's Midsummer's Night Dream and Jackie French's My Name is Not Peaseblossom, which is based on A Midsummer's Night Dream by Shakespeare, but it's not actually A Midsummer's Night Dream. But yeah, I know for a fact Jackie French has done some other novels based on Shakespeare. From what I read in the back, this is her last one unless she gets a heap of inspiration out of her Shakespeare novels. For me, I found, from what I remember from my English class, this book was a lot more enjoyable to me than my English class one, but I think that's just because, as I said, Asperger's, not understanding, not getting the language, blah blah blah. But yeah, for rating, I would definitely give it a very high rating. Probably a 4 to 5 star. I'm not totally sure. It is a book that I'm still thinking about because I wasn't expecting the way it ended. It was a really surprise for me. I'm really glad with how it ended. I loved how it wrapped up. I loved how the story progressed, how it turned out. The fantasy elements in it, I guess I loved everything about it. I definitely would highly recommend reading it. I really wasn't expecting to love it as much as I did. I thought, as I do a lot more these days, I thought, well, I might as well take a chance on something because I really wasn't sure because of the Shakespeare stuff. But I'm really glad that I took the chance and read this book. It was most enjoyable, and it was kind of a short read. It was only about 200 pages, so it is kind of on the shorter read, but it doesn't lack for entertainment at all. It is really good. So I really hope you've enjoyed this book review. If you have, please leave a like, subscribe and comment, as I really love hearing from you all. I really hope you all have a great day / evening and have a good time reading or doing your colouring or whichever you're doing it right now, and I will see you next time. Bye!